Y'all, Loud Little Ducky here, stopping in real quick to finally read the Napkin Lady's story. Laura Owen's alleged saver that was on this plane with Mike Maricini and Laura Owens, and she is the one that told Owens that she was abused. We went over hers already in the previous video, but now here is Napkin Lady's story. And this is what Napkin Lady looks like, obviously. She was sitting on the plane. They look identical, I'm sure. All right. So this chapter or part is called Be Daring. And it is in the Chicken Soup for the Soul 30th anniversary edition, not addiction. All right. A call to action. And there's a quote. Always have a willing hand to help someone. You might be the only one that does. Ray T. Bennett. Which I agree. So this is how it reads. All I knew was that when I heard a young girl's voice in distress, I had to do something. It was on a flight to Iceland with a dear friend with cancer, which is so sad, and what an amazing trip for y'all to go on. Says he asked me to accompany him as he traveled to get some medical scans in Europe. Okay. So you're not going for a vacation, but maybe you can do some sightseeing while you're there. We were all settled in for a long flight, off on an adventure to a hospital in Holland where I would support him. Okay. It wasn't long before I heard a man belittling a sobbing girl directly behind me. I couldn't ignore what was happening. This was obviously a girl in a very dangerous situation. My friend and I My friend didn't hear any of it, so he had no idea what I was thinking. Why was the friend not hearing any of it? Did he not have his hearing aids in? Was he asleep? Um, that one is weird to me, but okay. I was witnessing with my ears only a guy verbally abusing a girl who was crying uncontrollably. He continued to upset her with no regard for her tears. Did you see actual tears? He didn't let up. He didn't care. He was controlling her, and this was his intent. If he's calling her names, I don't know if he's controlling her. If he's telling her to not make a scene or could you please not cry in front of everybody, um, all that, I don't think that's controlling her, but this lady may have seen it that way if this lady is real. I noticed the napkin used for my water cup and recognized it was something I could write on. If I could get a note to her without him seeing, maybe this would help her understand she needed to run away from him fast. This was happening behind me, so I thought, wait until he goes to the bathroom and pass her the note. How would you know if he was I mean, what if he never went to the bathroom? I guess she would have done it a different time. Well, okay. It was an international travel. He would have had to pee at some point. So I glanced behind me periodically, and he finally left. I don't know what she looked like. I don't know if our eyes ever met. All I knew was she now had a note from someone who cared with my email address if she wanted to contact me. The email address is kind of weird. It kind of gets explained, but it's still weird because I don't know what difference it would have been to give a cell phone number versus an email address because he could still harass you either way and find out your name. He's actually more likely to find out your name through an email address than if he was just to call or text you and you wouldn't have to give that information out. So I don't really know. I was a total stranger who had observed her desperate situation. It was so dangerous that I couldn't even risk sharing my phone number and taking a chance it would land in his hands. I don't see it being that dangerous to be mad at somebody, and maybe he did yell at her. Um, you would think she would have other people that would know about all this on the flight, but if it was chaos and if he was being that crazy, you would think that he would be told to calm down by a flight attendant or, get him off the plane or something if this was such a huge scene. Um, Somebody could have recorded it back then. Our phones weren't potatoes back then, and we had social media back then. So, it, if she's an older woman, maybe. Sometimes there are situations we cannot ignore. My dad taught me to never leave a place wishing I had done or said something. That was going through my mind. Did anyone else hear this desperate situation? I don't know because the person next to you apparently didn't, somehow. Never did I expect a response from this young girl, but almost 1 year later, her mom emailed me. It turned out that my note had started the girl on a path to saving herself. Why is Jan emailing her and not Laura? It brings tears to my eyes to share that this innocent sweetheart's life was being threatened in ways I never could have imagined. Her mom revealed that there was not only verbal abuse, but physical abuse as well, and her life was being threatened over and over. Her mom shared that even while being in therapy, the draw to go back to the abuser was so strong that she stayed with him for a while longer. Because Ron said, Mike, stay with her. He tried to get away. She kept trying to go back and wouldn't leave him alone because she doesn't know when to quit. With a lot of hard work and therapy, this smart, articulate, and beautiful young woman is now doing amazing things with her life. God knew she needed help that day in December. I don't want to think about what could have happened if I had not listened to the soft voice of the Lord guiding me to write a note on a napkin on a plane that changed a beautiful life. Karen Ambro Bernadis. So this last bit reads like Laura because napkin on a plane. That is kind of how Laura does it. But and they've been in contact surely all these years because enough to tell Chicken Soup for the Soul, hey, reach out to this person to see if they want to write a story too, because they're connected to me. And doing that, and the contact to give her updates on Maricini and that relationship. Laura says she has talked to her, and Laura's mom has talked to her. So this lady shouldn't be hard to find with Laura's Electronics. And I don't know if Maricopa County has found this lady or not. Um, I know it doesn't pertain to the Clayton Eckerd case, but um, I just wonder if anybody has talked to him. I want this woman on the witness stand in person. I would even accept a Zoom, but I need no written declarations done with this. I need to know that there is an actual person that this is attached to, and she can be verified, because I cannot believe written stuff. Laura could have pretended to be Napkin Lady, or Jan could have been Napkin Lady. And then they just create like an email address or whatever, or write. They travel on an airplane all the time, so Jan could have wrote it. I'm sure they do driving too, but I know they've flown. So I just cannot fully believe anymore that this is a real person. I want to hope that it is a real person, but um, it with all the lies and doctoring, and we know she makes things up and all that, it's just, I don't know how the verification process is for any of this stuff. It's just weird. And then again, you know, it would hate I would hate for this woman to get wrapped up in this and be like, "Oh, I thought I was helping a girl, but I actually just started her scheming plot and gave her the idea to claim abuse and start doing all this." And so you think that it starts at maybe Napkin Lady, but there's a guy before Napkin Lady and Mike Maricini who doesn't really care to put his story out there. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.